Good morning, folks. I hope y'all are doing all right. Got the intro, got my thing going. It's already heated up. The countdown is on. Today we're actually smoking Malawi Gold S hydrocarbon concentrate. It is at 72.2 on the THC percentage, 0.81% on CBD. I don't know what the total is, but maybe it'll let you guys read it. I don't know. This is what I got. This is what it is. Um, Looks like crystals. Actually feels like rock candy. Um, some of this dab stuff is. Uh, it's always seems to be different. There's a lot of different kinds. There's like really hard kinds that are like crystals, like I got right here, which I guess you can kind of see right there. Audio for a long time, I guess. Shit, I've been going for 10 minutes. Honestly, I was saying some really fucked up shit, so it's probably a good idea that I was streaming with no audio for 10 fucking minutes. I did it again. It's just I have to mute the mic for the intro, and then I unmuted it, and then I thought I was good. Apparently not. But thank you, Eric, for pointing that out, because I would have streamed this whole time, and nobody would have heard anything I said. But I want to repeat what I said, even though people probably won't like it. But I've noticed that everybody's going after Kanye West for telling some bad things. You know, he's just being honest and speaking his opinion. And then earlier today, I saw. Let me see if I can. Eh, I'll do it later. But I still got to figure out this Streamlabs thing. Anyways, but they're like, how dare Fox News like let this guy come on and talk about stuff? He's obviously mentally ill and he's crazy and all this other stuff just because he's saying things that they don't like. Meanwhile, they got a guy who dresses like a lady in their fucking administration. I forget the fucking dude's name. And but yeah, you literally have fucking mental illness right up there in your fucking ranks. But you got a problem with Kanye West telling the truth about, or at least his truth. You know, what happened to their truth? It's always their truth when people are like, women can't have dicks. Well, that's her truth. That's her dick. But as soon as it's like Kanye's like, hey, the Jews are running everything, they're like, that's not his truth. That's nobody's truth. And as far as commenting on that, if you're not aware that there is like, I'm not saying like there's necessarily an organization, but there's Jews throughout Hollywood and even the rap scene. A lot of the early rappers, if you know anything about hip hop, a lot of these guys like Eazy and fucking Tupac and Biggie and everything else, it was a lot of Jewish producers. So these guys are kind of everywhere. So, I mean, just even saying that is somewhat controversial. I don't understand that. I mean, if it's the reality, it's the reality. We have no problem pointing out that a bunch of white men are running particular things or something like that. So, I don't. It's just a descriptor. But yeah, there's a lot of corruption going on, and whether or not that's tied into the super Jews is what I like to call them because they're different from the regular Jews. They're like super Jews. They got like the super gold and the super money to finance all this super Jew stuff or whatever the fuck they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. I just know that their names are on a lot of things. Why do you think Whoopi Goldberg has the last name Goldberg? She changed it to a Jewish name. That wasn't her original last name. I forgot what her original last name was. But I mean, it's just obvious stuff, and it's not saying anything bad or either evil. But getting to the point, how dare Kanye point stuff out like this when we have, people in government office who are a man dressing up as a woman, and we are trying to tell people that women can have dicks, that men can have babies, but all of a sudden that completely goes away and Kanye West just has mental illness because he's fucking based. I don't get it. I like Kanye West. I didn't always. I thought he was a fucking prick back in the day when he was like, who's that fucking singer bitch that he like stole the mic from? Was it Taylor Swift or somebody like that? But anyways, he ended up taking the mic from her and he's like, yo, dog, I'm gonna let you finish in a minute, but I just wanna say that I was the best fucking musician and yada yada yada. When I saw that, I fucking hated Kanye West, but holy shit, this dude has had the craziest character arc I've ever seen in a fucking celebrity, though. Like, he started up as just some whiny ass piece of fucking shit, and yeah, he probably has some mental stuff going on. Uh, I think anybody would be hard pressed to point to any random stranger that they see on the street and that person doesn't have some mental issues going on. Everybody's got something going on, dude. It's just some of us deal with it better and some of us don't have it as bad, but everybody, man. Every person walking this fucking earth is fucking sad about something. That's something you should keep in mind when you're talking to folks, too. I'm an asshole and I like to troll people. I do. But there's a lot more people that I like to say that I have good interactions with that other people don't see because the trolly stuff is the stuff that gets all the likes and stuff. The stuff that a lot of folks don't see are things where, like, I see cool people online. I hit them up with a DM and I'm like, hey, you seem like a pretty fucking cool guy. Here's some free comic books too. I hope you're doing well, man. I do shit like that. I like looking out for people. Everybody's important to a degree. Some people aren't worth the headache, though. I think at one point during all the fucking comic drama and all the fucking stupid horse shit, I stopped and asked myself, and I was like, what am I accomplishing exactly? The behavior that I seem to be standing against continues. Uh, I've seen people come and go. It's just the same useless cycle. So instead, I decided that instead of getting mad about stuff like Star Wars and stuff like that, I wanted to focus my efforts on less internet gay orgy bullshit. Let's just call all internet fights just gay orgies. Because I want to put an outlandish label on it because it's such an outlandish fucking thing to even take seriously or consider, you know? All this Christian shit, the fucking farm shit, the other shit. None of this shit affects any of your fucking lives. Not one single fucking ounce. You know who does affect your lives is the people around you, the people that are interacting with you, the people that you're making friendships with, the people that you're actually directly fighting with, too. Your family, your coworkers, your neighbors. These are people who have impacts on your lives. It's not Kathleen Kennedy. Um, it's not this random trans person doing weird fucking shit, you know? If anybody sees anything illegal, call the law, be done with it. Don't let this shit consume your lives. It's not fucking worth it. You are only blessed with one life. You're not gonna get a mulligan. There's no reset button where you can, once you realize that you've wasted years on stupid, meaningless shit fuckery, and you're not going to be able to hit a reset button. You're not going to be able to get that time back. So, don't waste the time to begin with. Get over all the internet nonsense. Who gives a shit about SJW? We all fucking hate SJWs. Yes, we do. But you know what? They thrive on our fucking attention. They thrive on your attention. They thrive on my attention. They thrive on everybody's attention. You know what they hate the most? No attention. Being ignored. Being put in a fucking corner. So do that. Same thing with the shows. Has anybody not realized that these companies are making things you hate on purpose because they they have turned your hatred into a source of revenue. It doesn't matter whether your comments are good or bad. Have you ever heard the term that there's no such thing as bad press? Well, there's not. They make money whether you like it or hate it. And right now, they are purposefully manipulating you. They are poisoning your fucking blood. They are poisoning your soul with this toxic fucking bullshit. Believe it or not, you can look it up. This stuff causes stress. All of these things lead to physical health problems. Fucking, it's attacking your heart. It's attacking your body. And I'm not talking about no spiritual Jesus-y fucking shit either. Not knocking that necessarily, but I'm talking cold, hard fucking facts. This shit affects your health. Let it go. Stop being controlled. Stop getting angry at the thing that you're supposed to be getting angry about. Start focusing on changes that you can make. If everybody focused on changes that they can make, you could actually change the world. The problem is people are always trying to reach too far. People always think big. Nobody wants to work for anything. But if you ignore the fucking horse shit, eventually it will go away. Eventually it will go away. It will quiet down and it will go away. And we've seen this proven time and time again, but nobody cares. Everybody's addicted to these dopamine hits about being outraged, and that doesn't make you a bad person. Makes you a stupid person, I think, but sorry, those are the cards you chose, sir. You've had fair warnings, and that's the paths that you continue to lead down. But still, at the end of the day, even these people with dopamine hits, even though, I look down on the people who get really into the fucking shit, they're still people, and they still need some form of help. I think everybody does, and we all need people to talk to. We all need friends. But we also need to start putting more focus onto things that enjoy us, that bring us happiness, that, things that give us the other fucking dopamine hits in our brain. The things that make us happy, the things that make us smile, seeing a good fucking movie, playing an awesome video game that just came out that nobody's talking about. I've started playing, it didn't just come out, but I just got it, so it's new to me. But my wife and I just started playing this game called Ground Branch, which I think it's been in early access or whatever for like a couple of years already, but it's a really fun game. And come to find out, it was made by. Yeah, this is actually an interesting thought. Because this actually does. I loved the Rainbow Six games, and I used to love the publisher Ubisoft. And think of this like Star Wars, I used to love Star Wars too. And I used to love George Lucas for the Star Wars stuff. And then the shit started happening. They started putting out bullshit and yada yada yada. Well, same thing happened with Ubisoft. They started putting out bullshit. They started letting us down. They turned Rainbow Six into a fucking PvP microtransaction filled fucking DLC riddled shenanigans. It's not even the same game anymore. I think even their idea of terrorist hunt is where you just sit in a room and wait for the guys to try to break in and kill you, which it's fun, but that's not what that game is. Well, the thing about Ground Branch, at least, is that it's an indie game. It's got a relatively small team, small development team. Game is half price because of it. It's independent. And come to find out, one of the guys who worked on my favorite Rainbow Six games stepped away to actually do stuff like this. So when I buy this indie game that, it may not be Marvel, it may not be like the big fucking blockbuster movie or show or whatever, but it's exactly what I wanted. So I should talk about that. Why would I be just another one of the millions of voices crying in a corner about Star Wars? Why can't I be one of the fewer voices who is actually like, hey, check this stuff out. This is really good. If you like that, you need to look into this because this is really good and this is new and this is cool. And we should be turning our attention towards that instead of the bullshit. I don't know. I'm just rambling. Just rambling. There's a lot of things. Really interesting to hear all the different answers when you ask people, like if you could change the world, how? And everybody always seems to have a different answer. Stupid people usually have the same answer, like world peace or whatever, but. If you could think of one thing to change that you could, what would that be? Any one thing that so you could say world peace, but even if there were world peace, would we still have resource shortages? Would what else would still be going on? Just because there's no war doesn't mean anything else. Or does world peace lead to alien invasion because we're not going to fight back now? I like to think of how I would change the world. Not just the one thing, though. I like to think about a lot of things. I find not a lot of people do that, though, because when you ask them, like when they're really mad about something, you're like, well, what would you do different? 9 times out of 10, they just, I don't know. I just wouldn't make it. Okay, all right. Well, alrighty then. Well, if you don't have a solution, why are you complaining about the problem? That's one thing I've always professed. Anything I complain about, I usually have a solution for. And my solution for complaining about Star Wars was cut it out of my life like a fucking cancer. I still like the old movies and stuff. I still rewatch the older stuff. I got to get with Aubrey since it's Halloween. We got to rewatch the old Ewok movies. Was it Caravan of Courage and I always space on the other one. But yeah, we'll definitely watch those. I like the older stuff, but anything new, I don't give a shit. Which that does cause problems too. There's been a couple of guys that I've tried to talk to or one. There's one guy that's really nice and he always means well, but anytime like I hop into space or whatever with him, it's like, oh man, have you watched, insert random franchise new show here? And I'm like, no. Oh, well, have you watched this other one? No. Well, what did you watch? Oh, I watched this really good action movie from the 80s. That's pretty much what it is. Something relatively new that I have watched, and this will show you how new means to me, is I watched the first season of True Detective. I believe that's came out like a good time ago, but it was new to me. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. That was really cool. Watched the first episode of the second season when it's like with like Colin Farrell, and not really digging that one. Like, I wouldn't say they ruined it. I just don't like the characters in it, I suppose. Like Colin Farrell's just like this fucking drunk asshole, and you got this other dude who's like it's like a motorcycle cop, but he just likes to drive really fast and make goofy faces. And then there's like this woman cop who just I don't know, they all feel a bit bland and shit. So I might not watch that one. Definitely doesn't hold a candle. Or definitely didn't pull me in. It may get better. I don't know. I may watch the second one. We'll see. I still haven't watched the new stuff of the boys. I'm not boycotting it. Um, if anybody wants to think that they can, I've heard really good things about it. I'm just I'm, I'm kind of done with the stuff like that. I'm just taking my interests elsewhere. I'm finding new hobbies, new things to get into. I've been taking the boat out a lot lately. Been doing different stuff at work. I've, you know, getting into different things instead of getting into the crazy comic book stuff. I've been getting more into like Warhammer and stuff like that. I've been expanding. I've been finding new things to enjoy that haven't quite been tainted yet. I'm also creating things, of course. I've got Otis Stein. as far as that goes, I do have another project in the works. I don't want to talk too much about it because, um, but we're moving forward with it, Carlos and I. Uh, but we're gonna do a kids book. And you're like, oh man, he's surrounded by weed. He cusses like a fucking sailor. Skinny's gonna do a kids book as I'm having my coffee burps in the morning, stoned as fuck, drinking from my Batman cup. Yeah, I'm gonna have a kids book because I like kids. I'm an uncle. I have, what is it? I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and there's like 10 or 11 of them just on my side, just from all my sisters and shit. So I really enjoy kids, and I like talking to kids and playing with kids. And since we've moved up here, I've gotten to know a nephew on my wife's side of the family, and he's a pretty cool guy. I like him. I gave him a ukulele not too long ago because he seemed to take an interest in music. So I was like, hey, I have a ukulele at the house that really don't do too much with, and it's really easy to play. I'll get him this. But I don't know, just something about kids. Just maybe it's that innocence but they're just so damn creative, you know? Like they come up with the coolest stuff. I, I don't know. It's something happens when you get older. I find that maybe it's just life in general, it just hardens us, but something kills that deep, really creativeness in kids at some point. Maybe it's puberty. I'll blame it on puberty. That's what fucking happens. Probably. Oh, I hate the fucking world now. And I want titties. No, no. I take a lot of inspiration from kids. I think everybody should. How happy they are, how easy they are to get along with one another. Kids are a beautiful thing, man. We need to make sure that they're protected too. Get these fucking weirdos away from them. I've yet to talk to a single fucking parent that was like, oh yeah, totally. Let me send my fucking kid to a story time with drag queens. That sounds like a blast. Sounds more like a felony to me, but I don't know. I guess it's how you interpret the law. I don't think I speak legalese very well. But, I know I've been rambling and going here, there, everywhere, but the point of today's stream was just be good to people. Try to be good to the people who are good to you. Look out for folks around you. Try to spend more time on the positive things than you do the hateful things. If something's making you really angry, like this happened to this other IP, just instead of being so angry, just do yourself a favor. Just go out and just find something else to distract you from that. It's not even about being able to like put it down. Find a distraction. Find something that will distract you just enough to where you really don't pay it too much mind. And I think things will be better if we all collectively just stop consuming the bullshit. Eventually the bullshit will stop. But we have to stop consuming it first, and we have to stop being angry about it. Well, you can be angry about it, but don't do it in a way that they make money from it. Don't draw attention to it. Don't give it any public interaction at all. If you want to, you can, you know, yell about it in a fucking closet in your basement. But just make sure it's not on Twitter. It's not anywhere where it can be monopolized or used as fucking sale interaction figures or anything like that. I'm not quite sure how they make money off of it, but it's clear as day that they do. There's a lot of fuckery going on, so just try to avoid it and watch out for yourself, and yeah, have a good one.